Hello one and all, welcome to Seen Through Glass. Early today I took the F-Type to Looker's Jaguar Land Rover West London for a post-summer health check and minor service, and the guy said, did I need a loan car for the weekend? I was like, yep, sounds good to me. And then they brought out this all black Range Rover Sport SVR. Now I don't know why, but when they told me that I'd be taking an SVR for the weekend, it felt like a real waste to just hang around London. I had this urge to go somewhere or do something or take it on a trip. So for no reason at all, I'm going to be going to Cornwall. One thing I really didn't take into consideration when coming to Cornwall is that the roads here are tiny. And it doesn't matter that this is supposed to be the super sporty Range Rover Sport, it's still a bloody huge Range Rover Sport. And apart from the fact that it's a bloody massive car, the other thing I'm realising is it's not very good on petrol. Got to get to a fuel stop first. I have 22 miles left on my range, and then we can delve into what this car is all about. Right, £96 to fill up. So not cheap, and the range, let's see what the range is saying. 19 miles, that can't be right. Maybe I need to start driving a bit, because if it was 19 miles per £95, I'd be pretty furious. But I'm not sure you can really expect a car like this to be economic. So if that's what you're after, go buy the hybrid. I've heard it's quite good. Okay, it's reading 416, it just updated itself. 416 miles, it's still not that good. still a tank. Oh, immediately, first thing you must do in the Range Rover Sport SVR, exhaust button needs a firm push apparently. But yeah, if you're going to have a car like this, exhaust should surely always be on. So let's dive into it. I have spent the weekend now with this car. It was a complete mad surprise, but a very nice one from the awesome guys at Looker's West London. They are incredible over there. They actually just sold my mum a new Range Rover Evoque, which she was very happy with, and yeah, they're just cool, and that is proven. The proof is in the pudding, people, because look at this. I hand my F-Type in for a little health check, and I get an SVR. It might help that I have a YouTube channel, but as far as I know, it was quite random. And so I've spent the last few days on motorways, cruising around Cornish towns with this car, and I can report back, it's pretty awesome. But there are a few things and a few ins and outs that I think we should talk through. One piece of consumer advice or warning to start things off. I love Range Rovers, so I am probably immediately quite biased. And I think a lot of people like Range Rovers, but they also might be quite Marmite, because I feel like Range Rovers also fall into that category that Audis recently have done, BMWs used to, of Range Rover drivers. My dad is one of the worst examples of that. He will go to a petrol station, park taking up 2 bays, and then just go and get a Twix from the shop, not even fill up. So you've got queues of people trying to get petrol, and he's just like, no, I fancy a Twix. And I do think Range Rover drivers are becoming a thing. So we're going to try and get into this review, or this experience, as unbiased as possible. But if I start to fanboy about the fact that Range Rovers are great, please forgive me. And remember that I am trying to be impartial. Is that impartial? I really need to read more dictionaries. It's just not working out for me. But yeah, the SVR, I mean, a fairly ridiculous car in the first place. I'm not sure I really have ever got the point or understood like these high performance power 4x4 SUVs. I'm just a bit like, what? Why? It's very nice to cruise along in these cars. Why are we sort of going all mental and putting huge power units in them? However, I hadn't really experienced many, so I couldn't really make those big wild statements. And when I first picked this car up from Lookers West London, I immediately thought it's one of the best looking Range Rovers I've ever seen. The fact that it sits by default in park at the lower ride height setting, it's got the more aggressive body style in the front bumper, the wider rear wheel arches. It just looks mean on the road, and this one in particular, drug mafia spec, is awesome. I mean, I really feel like I could just drive through Brixton selling crack cocaine and no one would bat an eyelid. So, from that point of view, it looks wicked. Inside, I would say kind of the same. I mean, Range Rover interiors, for me, is one of the best features about them. I love a Range Rover interior. It's such a nice place to be. And I was a little concerned with these sportier, thinner seats that you were going to suddenly lose the comfort that was really one of the biggest selling features for me for Range Rover Sports. But not at all. At these kind of speeds and in town, this car really feels like every other kind of Range Rover. And that's actually the main thing. It hasn't lost any of the refinement that you get in the normal Sport, which was kind of like my biggest, like, thank God, because if they'd like sacrificed that to, you know, become a bit special, then I think I would have been a bit cross. So yeah, interior, exterior, winning. Soundtrack, pretty freaking awesome as well. You're in a Range Rover that can sound like this. That is just mental. So that is winning. Performance we're going to get onto in a little bit, because as you probably noticed just there, we accelerated this house incredibly quickly. But yeah, for now, I'm going to do a little bit more driving, get to my sort of lunch location, hopefully quite a scenic one with wide open roads, where we can delve in a little bit more of the ins and outs of the Range Rover Sport SVR before this afternoon going crazy on the performance.
No, can we not? Can we just not?
Let's do it.
Break a tyre.
Let's do it. Yeah, if I break something on this car, I will be furious. I'm going to reverse in there.
So we're not going to the village?
We're going to the village, but of all the places that I can probably... Of all the places that I can probably go, unless a local farmer comes and kicks our ass. How rugged of me! Okay, chill out, parking sensors. Ah! I think that's going to be it. I apologise in advance because there seems to be some kind of pheasant reserve over there. But in the last video I did with the Range Rover Sport, I said something a little bit controversial because I said something about the fact that the cars don't really go off-road. And I think some people misunderstood me, or I messed up my words, because a lot of you were like, oh my God, it's the best off-roader in the world. And I agree. Of course, this car is insanely capable. However, in my previous experience, or at least my perception of Range Rover Sports, is that you tend to see most of them cruising around cities on school runs rather than off-roading. However, I am not denying that these are some of the most capable cars off-road. And as much as I had dreams that when I came to Cornwall I'd be drifting across sand dunes and driving up cliffs, I didn't actually read the small print of my loan agreement. And knowing that the guys at Lookers West London do watch my YouTube channel, I feel like it could be quite a dick move to suddenly start trashing this across wild pathways. So I'm not really sure what to do about that, but I have brought it to a field to show you guys that Range Rover Sports do go off-road. Pretty useless of me. Before the farmer comes. I am not such such a rock and roll off-roader. I'm just terrified someone's going, get off my land! You're scaring my damn pheasants! God! In dynamic mode, this thing is crazy! I can't believe I'm saying this, but a Range Rover feels nimble. The thing is, you lose some of the sense of speed, because this thing is so big, you know you're going quickly, but it doesn't feel like, I mean, you know, it's a really weird sensation, but the soundtrack is incredible. And you pick up speed unbelievably quickly. The other thing is, in dynamic, it really transforms the body roll of the car. That I noticed almost immediately the first time I put it into the dynamic setting, is that the car through corners stops being the kind of slightly comfortable sway situation that most Range Rover Sports are, in my opinion, and really becomes phoned up. You actually feel like you could throw it into a corner, which is ridiculous, throwing a house into a corner. I mean, it's not supposed to perform this kind of way. Once you get used to the strange speed, it then really does start to pick up speed. That doesn't make much sense, but yeah, it just takes a while to get used to going so quickly in something so big. All in all, the best thing about this car is it has been the perfect companion to this ridiculous trip because it destroyed the motorway miles. I was like a 5.5 hour drive. It was pretty damn boring, and you had all the comfort of a Range Rover. And then when we've been kind of exploring and driving around and having a bit of fun, every now and again you can put it into sport mode or dynamic or turn the exhaust on, and then you're like right. And because of that, as I say, I think that this would be the perfect car for a long distance road trip or a rally like the Mod Bull Rally. So that is something worth considering. Anyway, I've still got my drive back to London to enjoy, and a few hours in London tomorrow morning with the car before I have to go and pick up the F-Type. So I am just going to do that. Enjoy having this car as my daily driver. What an awesome thing to be able to say. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you have, and make sure you're subscribed for plenty more videos to come. Oh, I do love these bloody cars.